Hello and welcome to the Purple and Gold Table Talk. I'm your host for this edition. My name is Chris Mays. Today's topic is impactful service through intentional friendship and manhood. Before we dive in, like my two guests with us today to introduce themselves. And then
I am
to it.
Back again. Andy Burns, Capo of Fall 13, Ace Dog.
And I am Lonnie Scott, 6 Spring 16, Kappa Iota, 6 Dog.
Well, let me back up. I can do the full intro myself. Chris Mays, 4 Dog, Tail Dog, KI 17, Rue. Appreciate you joining me today, and appreciate y'all for tuning into this episode. So like I said, we're talking about impactful service through intentional friendship and manhood. So fellas, what one word comes to your mind when you think of friendship?
Dutiful, right? Duty, right? What I've learned growing up as a young man is that we, as African American men, really need to cultivate being intentional and having duty towards one another, right? That's how you build your service. If you think about the friends that you created growing up, like, kindergarten, and I love this whole thought process, actually. But when you think about growing up with a friend in kindergarten, think about how you met, right? It was somebody that you observed and they had the similar pieces, right? Regardless of what color they were. Once you found that there was a kindred spirit, your duty every morning was to look for that person, right? To eat lunch with them, play with them. Sometimes if y'all took a nap, right? That is what got lost in translation as I got older. And so what I started to understand is that once you value someone, the best way to show them that you appreciate them is being accountable when you know that they need, right? It's only reciprocal. That's kind of the first thing I think of.
That's awesome, man. Lonnie, what about you?
Well, I know you said one word, but two kind of jumped out at me. One being joy, obviously, right? People always ask me, what do you like to do? The first thing I say is just be around family and friends. We don't have to do nothing. We just sit there and look at each other, talk, laugh, whatever. And I'm at peace. I'm happy. I'm full of joy in that moment. The next thing, sacrifice. It takes a lot to be a good friend. There have been countless times where I may not want to do something. I may not want to go somewhere, and y'all know. They know. During the weekday, it's hard to get me out.
Yeah.
And, but if one of these guys called me or anybody, one of my friends called me, they say, hey man, we got this going on. We'd love to have you here. Need you here. I'll make that sacrifice to be there as best I can if I can do it. And yeah, it's a lot to be a friend, but you make that sacrifice and then you have one of the most joyful things in the world.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Why do you think friendship is such an important part of manhood and overall personal growth?
For me, and I'm just going to be transparent. I love my mom to death. Grew up with my mom. I knew my dad, but by the time I got older, my dad was not in the household. And so I grew up with a perspective of learning how to understand emotion. What I was missing, however, was the comradeship of the manhood piece, right? So once I got older to understand the masculine pieces that I needed to have or to matriculate through life, I knew the only way I was going to get that is through other friends that I trust, right? To be vulnerable, right? And then to accept criticism. What came like really evident is something that you mentioned, with you being available whenever we call. So now I learned to respect you from a value of this is how a man carries out like his level of fortitude when it comes to how he wants to be seen. So now I get to reciprocate that type of friendship and it comes out in a respect value. Like I respect not only what you do, but when it comes to like, we already know how you feel about time, right? So if we get close to time, I'd be like, hey, you know, my dog gonna be here long, right? So say what you got to say, you know what I mean? Cause he punch out, that's it. And you ain't gonna be able to say nothing about him when he gone because he already told you up front. So now I'm about to go in because I'm like, you know, look, if you had something to say, you should have said it while my dog is here. He ain't here, you know, shut up type of deal. So for me, I think what happens is it really becomes something that you have to kind of be a steward of, right? In order to respect and keep your friendships, you got to not only respect it, but you got to grow it and be healthy. So that makes me grow. Like I have to be a better thinker. I have to be a better provider, you know, for my lady. And I have to make sure that when I'm out in public, I represent the crew or my clique right. So
I guess just going right off of that, accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Why do you think friendship is such an important part of manhood and personal growth?
Yeah, accountability. You know, iron sharpens iron, right? Men hold each other accountable. A true friend is going to hold you accountable. You know, if I see one of my friends not doing it right, I'm like, hey man,
yeah,
tighten up right now. Okay.
I done heard that more than once. Yeah.
But it goes from
It's a place of love.
Yeah, you sharing your aspirations with me, right? I want to do this, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
I see you falling off. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? What's my duty? What's my duty? I'm supposed to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
So I think that speaking to that question, accountability is paramount in a true, authentic friendship. Because I want to see you be great. I want to see you reach your dreams.
Yeah. And that's when the humility comes in, right? Because like when you check me, I'll be like, "Oh, dog, you tripping." I was like, "You know what, dog, you right." And
that speaks, once again, it plays in with manhood and growth. Because we're realizing that this person is getting on to us because they love us and care about us. Because we all play sports. We know, like, when coaches didn't say anything to somebody, just let them do whatever because they didn't care.
Yeah.
And so, and that definitely plays into the manhood part, which is kind of I'd say, epidemic we see in our community with, you know, the young generations growing up, not having a man consistently get onto them, but out of a place of love. And then so when it comes up higher, you know, when they get older, they don't know how to handle that. Somebody being hard on them, get onto them, but out of love and really wanting the best for them.
Oh man, you hitting it. Not my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I love my mom to death, but that was one of the things I had a problem with emotionally. Growing up, whenever there was a conflict, I always signed an emotion with it, and that's how I led. When I got around like my homeboys and whatnot, and they would correct me and check me at the same time, right? So now you done put me in my place, but you know, big forehead boy, you know, type deal. And so it turns into laughter because you realize now that you got a healthy male relationship that puts you not in the frame of mind that you need to be, but also keep you where you still can deal with the rest of the world, right?
Yeah. All right. So what does intentional friendship mean to you guys, and how is it different from just having casual friends? Lonnie, we'll start with you.
Pick up the phone, check on somebody. I ain't heard from you a couple weeks, but you all right? It ain't like you. Get quiet. Pick up the phone. It takes 15 seconds to say, "Hey man, just think about you. Want to check on you, holler at you, let you know I'm thinking about you. If you need anything, holler at me." Clear. That's it. Send a text. Be intentional about cultivating and maintaining that friendship. I can't tell you how many times you meet somebody and it's cool for the first couple weeks or so. Time passes, it just falls off the wagon, right? You have to make a conscious effort to maintain that friendship. What was the second part?
Oh, then how is it different from having casual friends?
And casual friends, you can sit around.
See you when I see you. Hey, what's up, man? All right, we kick it when we kick it. You know?
Yeah. I see you when I see you too.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine. But I take this friendship stuff so first we had this conversation offline. I take this stuff so I hold it so close, man, because if I call you a friend, you should know that you can call me at any time. And now y'all know I go to bed about 9.
Yeah.
But call me twice on my phone, do not disturb. Call me
Yeah.
And if I know it's outside of the norm, I'm gonna pick up. What's up? You straight?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not something to be played with, and you have to be so intentional with it, man. And I don't know. I get a certain way when I talk about it because I hold my loved ones so close.
Yeah.
And when I feel like you said it earlier, reciprocation.
Yeah.
When things are not reciprocated, I take it personally.
Yeah.
And I think I said this one of the brothers a while ago. I was like, I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm sensitive. Man.
But
I don't care what you say about it.
And it shouldn't be seen as a bad thing because sensitivity comes because we've cultivated that relationship, and I feel that strongly about you. So it's like, no, it shows the strength of that relationship because I care that much about you where the actions you have actually have an effect on me.
So, and I think the beautiful part about that is like when you brought it up, I just started smiling because I already know how he is. And that's a passionate piece of who he is, right? If you notice your whole demeanor changed, you know what I mean? Like you got at it. And I know you got at it because we've had, like you said, had this conversation offline, but you are purposeful for it. Like when we talk about intentionality, like you're the definition. Like if we look at passion, presence, and being dutiful, like that's who you are. So when you experience that, when you see it, you technically should just go ahead and reciprocate that as a part of being intentional. What I would add to it is also making sure that your relationships stay in a cultivating manner, right? Mm-hmm. So, for example, if you, my dog, and I did something to you, and you may not be thinking that way, but I may think that I done something wrong towards you, I am going to, number one, make sure that I apologize. And number two, but I'm gonna put in that work. Like some people be like, yeah, I kind of got on dog nerves a little bit, but I'm gonna wait till you come around. Nah. If you know that you was wrong up front, you owe it to your dog, right? To go ahead and put in that work and like, hey, look, man, I know I messed up on this. I'm just checking on you and then be authentically you, right? Because if that is you in nature, they will see that, right? So you don't have to feel a certain way about, you know what I'm saying, trying to make sure your relationship is cool with your dude. I would be like, we used to have a conversation about a certain situation. I'd be like, man, I owe for that. He said, dog, you done paid for that. Stop talking about it and don't say nothing else about it. You know what I mean?
Just like,
like, no, because I gave you so long ago, like from the first time.
But because I got so much love, not only for him and the situation that concerns the person, and then the group, if I apologize to you when I was wrong, you know what I mean? And it's because not only do I respect the relationship, it has changed my life for the better. So I cannot act as if it's not impactful.
Right. All right. So we kind of got into this. We're talking about, next section is what does it take to build intentional friendships? So you guys kind of already have gotten into that. So what are some signs that a friendship is deep and intentional versus surface level? Mm-hmm. This doesn't have to be anything concrete, but just your own interpretation.
I'm going to say when that person is authentically and vulnerably them, and you can see that in your interactions. If you think about me, matter of fact,
it's crazy you said that because that was really my next question. I'm talking about vulnerability.
Yeah, like when people talk to me, sometimes they be like, "Bro, you need to calm down. You a little bit high strung." If you know me, I love the frat. And I love my friends. One of the things I'll explain constantly is like, if I got love for you, I have to restrict myself because sometimes I feel like I got to take up for you. And man to man, you don't have to do that all the time. But if you know that's who I am as a person, and when I'm around you, I'm innately that. Like sometimes I'd be happy to see I just start jumping up and down. You know what I mean? So I'm naturally me, right? And so if you give me that feeling to be naturally who I am, then know that everything that I do towards you is going to be authentic. Now, if they be like, yeah, he cool. And it's like, nah, he ain't really cool with me like that. because I don't rock with you like that. It ain't no smiles, no nothing. It ain't even no how I buy. I chuck you from the shoulder blades, give you a deuce on the shoulder blades, but that's about all you're going to get from me.
Gotcha, man. So you kind of already hit on it. We're going to dive a little bit deeper. What role does vulnerability play in moving a friendship deeper, and why is it so hard for some men to get to there?
I'm going to come back on the back end, start on the back end on that pride.
Mm-hmm.
No man wants to be seen as weak.
Mm.
And that's where cultivating and being intentional and making that sacrifice to build that friendship with someone comes in, because I'm not just going to sit next to a stranger or somebody I've known for, 2 weeks and open up to them about my deepest, darkest secrets or why I'm feeling great today. And I really can't explain it.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about it. No, I'm not going to do that. It has to be someone I trust. We got to have that trust, right? So that's where the vulnerability comes in, is having that trust with someone and a true, deep, friendly connection.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm right there. I'm gonna add to it. Man, that word, man, about being weak, man, that's heavy. And I have to kind of like put that in the compartment in order to move on. But for me, my wife know how I live the frat. So if I allow you around my lifestyle, my family, that's trust. That is trust. If I don't trust you, you won't even know what type of vehicle I drive. I just don't connect at all with you on no level. So that level of vulnerability for me, if we are really, really close, you're going to know it, because I'm going to let you in my space, right? To let you know how much. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to throw it around freely, because it'll be dudes like, I didn't know you were married, because they ain't for you to know, right? It's not that I'm hiding it, but that's how much I protect my lady, right? That, like, prime example, I called dog. I wasn't even at home. I called dog. I say, hey, man, old girl gonna hit you up. She kind of needs help. He said, she already called me. You know what? That's how much I trust and love my dog, right? My lady done made a call already. And I was like, when you call him? She's like, well, I know, you know what I'm saying, how you feel about him. You done told me how you feel about him. You didn't see, I done seen him around the crib. So I know who to talk to and who not to talk to. You know what I mean? You get no more vulnerable than that, right? So.
Gotcha, man. Well, let's go ahead. Let's jump into the next segment, which is men, friendship, and mental health.
Ooh.
So our goal is to connect friendship to mental health and emotional well-being. So there is a lot of conversation today about men struggling with loneliness and isolation. Why do you think this is such a challenge for men specifically?
I think, and it was something I saw yesterday, and it speaks right to this, is there's so much pressure put on men to be men, right? Work, provide, barely sleep, eat protect. That's it. That's what we're supposed to do, right? And that world can get very lonely, especially if you don't have friends, to be an escape, to quote unquote unload your thoughts and talk through things with you. Have a good partner. A partner can be an asset or a liability.
Preach.
So I definitely think that plays into that that loneliness aspect, the societal pressures that are put on men as they are today.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This is a touchy and sensitive subject for me. And the biggest reason is like you said, because of the pressures as you get older. we don't have an outlet to be vulnerable and to say that we don't know when it comes to society. And so when it gets heavy, having a friend that really knows you will be that one that saves you. I'll give you an example. My wife, aunt, and my nephew died in the same day. And I grew up with my nephew. He died earlier that morning. Old girl passed that evening. And I had to switch from consoling myself to consoling my wife. And she lost it. And it got so thick that it was so painful that I just wanted to stop. And I called my five. I called Corey, and he didn't answer, but he called right back. And I was just like, dog, I cannot take it. I cannot take it. Like, this is just too much. I just got married. Like, I don't know what to do. And I don't even remember half the stuff I was saying. What snapped me out of it was him saying fight. So he kept saying, just fight, call my name, fight. You know, if that dude wasn't there, I mean, like we were in the trenches together. If that dude wasn't there, and then to know how much help I needed to say exactly what he knew to say to get me right in the right frame of mind, bruh. To this day, if I go quiet for a couple of days, hey, he didn't even pull up the crib, just checking on you, my boy. We outside. Is a beautiful day. Like, his thing is scenery outside, you know, fresh air, you know what I mean? And we'll be sitting out and we'll be talking about the crib, insignificant stuff, laughing, you know what I mean? You don't know, man, appreciate you, bro. Because when my cup be empty, you know what I'm saying? You put it right there for me. Understand? So I just want to say, I appreciate you for that one.
And that's so heavy, because especially when we talk about the societal pressures of men and all the things that we're expected to do and be for everybody else. And a lot of times, if you don't have that right partner who equally pours back into you, you're working from a deficit. And so that's when you get around your friends and they're pouring back into you with like Andy said, like even the smallest minute stuff that's not anything special, but it's just something different. It's something that they're getting back. And, you know, we talk about it all the time, you know, with me and, you know, my personality, things like, you know, we're similar as far as when we get around people, we get excited, talking a lot, and just has so much dopamine. But it's like, for me and my current job working from home in the isolation, it's just something that's completely against my norm. And the impact it's had on me, like having my friends be able to see them even for like an hour or so, even just in passing, is such a big lift for me. So that's one of the things that, you know, I try to make sure I schedule and keep going just to maintain my own mental health, because it plays into everything that I have to do, especially now as a father. You know, that's such a heavy lift now, but I got to make sure I'm good for him. And so make sure I'm intentional about being around my friends and those who, you know, do that for me as well.
Well, one thing I want to give you props on before you leave. Everything that you just said, you've consciously worked on yourself, right? And because of it, I've got to learn you more. So when I see that you go through some of those things, I back up and I make sure I stay with you, because I want you to understand. Now I understand. And for all the things that I may have misunderstood, because I now understand it, I owe you more, right? So I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes when you get ready to say something, I'll stop myself and I make sure I don't move, right? Because of the respect that I have for you. You know what I mean? So I want to say I appreciate you for being vulnerable and explaining that, because at one time I didn't understand it.
Oh, good, dog. You know, and that's one of the things about friendship and actually taking the time to spend time. We learn so much more about those around us that we might have taken offense to. It's like, oh, I took offense to this, but this is just, it wasn't intentional, right, or things like that. So that's important. But I'm glad you kind of said that, because it's like, what are some warning signs that a man might be struggling silently, and how can we be a good friend and step in? We've kind of alluded to, you know, like I said, the withdrawal, whether it be intentional or unintentional, that we might sometimes do, and a friend reach out? You know, what's some other things that you guys might identify?
I know this was back in Christmas of 23. My best friend got passed, and these two right here, they already knew the type of toll it was taking on me, because Andy would call me every day, dog, just checking on you, dog, checking on you, good, you straight, you need anything? You do that anyway.
Yeah.
You can do that when we leave here tonight.
Yeah. What you need, dog?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And be so just intentional about it. Like, you sure? Yeah. No, but, and Chris, he called me one time. He's like, yeah, dog, just noticed you been a little quiet. And I'm quiet normally.
Mm-hmm.
It's even more, pronounced, just kind of dealing with all that, because that was like my little sister, right? So, just noticing that. But to your point, to the question, besides the fallback, I mean, really knowing someone and being able to recognize the facade, right? You can feel it. You can feel it when something's off with someone that you were really locked in with. And that's when it comes down, like when we talked earlier with someone, like, hey, what's wrong? No, I'm good.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Because you're about to make me mad.
And that's exactly how he talked too.
I know something, So
how
and I feel like all of these questions are going back to one simple thing: is sustaining, maintaining.
Yeah.
That friend, being intentional with friendship. So
100%, man. Like one thing that I don't think people understand, like all the friends that I ever had in life that I call my best friends, it started because they were always present. Like I tell people, even in the frat, you got to come around. They I'm busy, right? If you are around all the time, I innately know when you're not here. Even if you're physically present, I know when you're not here, right? So it's almost instinctive. If I ain't heard from you, no, I'm gonna call you, and I'll be honest. If I know you're going through it, I'm gonna say something crazy off the wall, and they're like, "Wait, what?" Sometimes I call him. He's like,
guard down.
Yeah, because to be truthful, it's a shock to the system. 1, 2, I need you to understand that I got love, and I'm just saying, I love you so much that I don't want you to suffer alone, right? And we ain't gotta say nothing. You know what I mean? But I'm going to let you know from the standpoint of, even though I know that it's a dark day, I'm going to say what I'm going to say a little bit, and I'm going to find out where you at and just see if we can kick it. So for me, that presence, if you're around somebody all the time, think about your dogs that you know what I mean? You know what's happening when they walk into a room or when they are not in a room. And when you call them, you can just say, hey, dog, I ain't heard from you. My thing is, I got to put my eyes on you. What's happening? Where you at? So, yeah.
Gotcha. This one, I mean, we talk about this, as far as our safe spaces, and we've seen, the uptick as far as men's mental health, especially from a social media standpoint, and people make it more of a priority. And we talk about the safe spaces. What does it look like to create a safe space where men can open up and be honest with each other?
I mean, I think it goes back to number 1, like you said, accountability, right? Mm-hmm. If you're accountable and intentional, and that's in everything, that's in your religion, that's in how you steward of your money, your time, how you keep your family. If you are that steadfast, right? What happens is it almost becomes, I'm trying to think of the best way to frame it. So it almost becomes a thing where it's okay, you know what I'm saying, to expand your circle and include more people, right? Now, there's also a thing that whereas when you kind of see that people are not, I know I'm straying away from the question.
No, you're good.
Okay. When you start to see that people are not worthy, you go ahead and let that be known, right? right? So you have to pretty much set boundaries, so to speak, but also you just got to be accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Arnie, what about you? What do you think it means to? What does it look like to create that safe space?
Being open, being genuine,
Mm-hmm.
And being a man of your word.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can't feel safe with you or being open with you unless I can trust you.
mm-hmm.
I can't trust you unless you do what you told me you was gonna do.
Your word is your bond.
Right? And again, I said the last question, it all goes back to intention within the friendship and building that bond, that trust. And then just, being able to call your boy up and from just checking on your dog. I know you got some stuff going on. You need to talk. You need to just opening the door.
Yeah.
Not trying to force stuff out because some people don't want to talk about everything, right? But letting them know that you're here and letting them know this is a judgment-free zone. Whatever you got going on, it's going to stay right here. And whatever it is, no judgment because I ain't perfect by any means, right?
Yeah.
I'm dealing with some stuff too. As a matter of fact, this is what I got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So opening that door for two-way communication.
You literally read my mind because I was going to say sometimes it takes, you or somebody else being the first person to put something out there, open up that vulnerability, leave with something like, dang, man, I had no idea you was dealing with that because I'm dealing with something like that too. Or man, I dealt with that. Here's how I got through that, so we got to be willing to put ourselves out there, take a step back from our pride. Because once again, not even just the vulnerability part, we don't want to seem like we got weaknesses. We don't have everything figured out because everyone wants to present this perfect picture of themselves. And, I got it figured out. I don't need help. I got it. So, sometimes just be willing to put yourself out there and admit, hey, I ain't got it all.
You said something where you said, I'm going through something similar and this is how I dealt with it. I think that sometimes, and I have to catch myself too, we need to be careful with offering advice
unsolicited
when nobody's asked, right? I'm coming to you, man. I just want to talk. I just need to get this off my heart, get this off my mind. I don't want to be lectured. I don't want to be heard to that. just listen real quick.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and be there. So.
And that's something we do with women all the time, right? Because they like to talk about what they have, and we being solution oriented, we jump right into it. And it's like, and we also have to make sure we have that conversation with ourselves, right? Like, hey, so you trying to get something out, you want to talk about how we can fix it, or just, we're just talking right now. So that's good. Just learning your people though.
Well,
communicate.
I'm glad you said that about the ladies. So for all the ladies listening, don't get mad. But what I'm about to say is this. Guys need guys time for exactly what my dog said. And the reason I'm saying it this way is I could talk to my dog and he not judge me. Now, I could be wrong, but what he does is allow me to vent, right? He takes me for who I am and then he sits with it. Now, when I look at my dog, now I start to go back and think about not only what I said, but what I did. And now I realize that maybe I was wrong, right? So now I have to make those changes on my own to be a better person. And then I go back to my dog. I say, you know what, dog, that stuff I said, I was probably a little bit to the left. Yep. I just wanted to
say that, dog.
I'm saying, I know you,
well,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I seen it in your eyes. I know you needed to get it out, but, what makes you say that way? I was like, well, when I think about this and I look at my friend group, right? I look at the dudes that I'm around that have wives and I admire. I see how they cultivate their relationships. Am I doing that? Right? Is that joyful? Is that dutiful? And everything I just said was contradictory to that. So now I got to match my friend group if I'm really saying that I want to be a better person. So sometimes when we say we got to go do our thing with our dudes, we got to, because we got to, especially if you're a male heterosexual and you got that testosterone, you need to go bang with your boys. You know what I'm saying? But you need them to understand who you are So it puts you in a frame of mind to be a better person.
And that is so heavy because we oftentimes see it because we all grew up with our boys, right?
Yeah.
Homie get in a relationship. Things start changing, spend more time with his lady, especially get married and things, and that withdrawal just kind of naturally happens, which is not a bad thing because, you're clinging to your mate, but at the same time, that balance definitely needs to be maintained because that's who you are.
Yeah.
These people are in your life for a reason. And like, she might like, oh, I don't like your friends. It's just like, guess what? My friends are part of the reason I am the man today.
Ooh. So think about this, and I'm just going to ask all y'all a question. How many guys, like your homeboy, that got married and you're so proud of them because you've seen them like evolve for the better?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, if, like man to man, we talking, y'all can actually say, oh, I can probably call like 2 or 3 of them. Right?
He was a scoundrel.
You see what I'm saying? But his whole lifestyle is totally better. Now, if you let society tell it, that don't exist in our milling. You know what I mean?
And it's like some stuff like you won't even talk about, you won't even feel comfortable talking about or bringing to him or seeing it. Cause like, I already know what you want. I already know the path that you're on, and I'm so proud of it. And I don't want to be a hindrance or cause you to stumble or backslide because I have that much love, respect, and also pride for you and the growth that you've had. And a lot of times they don't see that because they're not in our world, but they don't understand like, oh, he's just this, he's a horrible influence, he's a horrible friend. It's like, you have no real idea the depth of the friendship we have. And as much as you don't like me, it's like, I don't care because you're making him happy and you've caused this growth and advancement in him. So I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize it. And I'm going to hold him accountable.
Yeah.
Because they don't think we do that when we really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, man.
You had a thought, dog.
You good for it, too?
You had a thought.
I did. I just gone now.
Okay.
That's why sometimes I'll be blurting out because, hey, I better keep a little notepad, start writing stuff down. But
gotta count your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So let's talk about the gifts of a true friend because we kind of talked about it a little bit. What are the most important things a strong friendship offers?
Ooh.
Time.
Time.
Mm-hmm.
We finna groove now. Yeah.
Time. Like Andy said, Chris know, everybody here probably know.
Boy.
About my time.
Yeah.
Like,
boy.
I don't play about my time. Because
your own time, you're late.
And as cliche as it is, time is the only thing we cannot
You can't get back.
Money will come back.
Yeah.
Time is fleeting. We don't know the minute or the hour.
Mm-hmm.
Time is so valuable and so precious. So it's worthwhile to spend it well.
And I would say for that, because we know you, like as far as our friendship, our consideration of that, and especially how you feel about that. I think just consideration in general about the things that are important to our friends, even if it might not be a big thing to us, but we know I'm gonna be late to some stuff.
Yeah.
I ain't got to be up.
Yeah.
But him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna make this strong effort. I know how much it means to him.
Oh, well, now you hitting because truth of the matter, when we talk about service, right? Like you said earlier, it could be something I hate moving. I hate it with a passion. If you got something you want to move, I will help burn it before I help you move. 100. You know what I mean? But if one of my dogs called me that I love, I'd be like, all right, man, I got you. I come with such a humble heart. One thing you're going to always remember with time, you're going to remember people who value your time, and you're going to remember the people who waste your time, right? So when it comes down to it, like me, my best friends from high school, I know exactly who they are. I got the phone numbers. I know what to call it. My best friends from FAMU, I know exactly who they are. I know exactly who to call. Like my friends that I got in chat. And then my LBs, at the end of the day, when you look around at your life and you see that walk, right? From when they knew you, from you as a little jit to when you got to high school, then when you got to college, and you look back and you see this long line of friends who have seen you evolve through every piece. When we talk about time, bruh, and you still Trump tight, for real, you really start to understand not only who you value, but who you ain't even wasting your time with.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Like, what does a friend, like we're talking about what friendship gives, like what are the most important things a strong friendship offers?
Support.
I would say sometimes, I wouldn't say a mirror, but, somewhere you can just go. We kind of talked about like the judgment-free aspect of it. Within reason, of course. Let's put that out there. Because some stuff like, you get what? No, brother. Because that steps in with a level of accountability.
Yeah.
But just like the sounding board sometimes, it's a lot of times with just in the mental health space, when you have a lot going on, we talk about the isolation and withdrawal. Sometimes you can have a friend you spill everything out and help you make sense of what's going on up there, kind of help clean things up. I also tell you, hey, you might be wrong in this, and you would have never known that if you hadn't talked it out with this person that you trust and who also knows you.
That's why you got to have different friends with different personalities, right?
Mm-hmm.
With different backgrounds, right? Because you get a different dose each time, and it's not always the same thing, right?
Right.
That helps you with reality.
So this is just a different pivot, because we talked about being there for each other in our dark moments, our hard times, pulling us back in. Why is it just as much important to celebrate each other's wins and not just be there for the hard times?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I will celebrate the smallest thing, and the reason why, I come from a background not only where there was nothing, but there was violence, and so I automatically knew what that yield. Right? It wasn't until I got older and I really seen somebody that I really, really had a high regard for actually achieve something. And I went harder and I was yelling. I was like, dog, what's happening with you? You act like that was you. Look, to understand that someone in your group we were just talking about your homeboy who's a doctor. He was like, if he was telling all this stuff he was doing, I'm tripping out. He was just casually saying it. He said, the crazy part about it is if you was talk to him, he would never know. Right.
Yeah.
If you my dog, the world gonna know because I'm an accolade, right? And the reason I do that is for not only to let you know how proud of you I am, but to say that it's achievable, right? It's achievable in our friend group. Somebody asked me, it's like, why do you really want to be a pilot? I seen the video, you flying, because it's something I always wanted to do. And now people are looking at me like, man, you give me some inspiration. I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to do is keep my mental health straight. Now, while I'm doing that, if you're looking at me and you looking at as an achievement, what it does is it makes me now have to be accountable, right? So I can't fall off the handle when I want to be mad and charge somebody in the face, right? I can't do that, right? Like, someone believes enough in me to want to celebrate what's my passion, right? And what's crazy is I'm not gonna make it up. If you did something that was good and it doesn't move me like that, I'm like, well, I'm happy for you. That y'all will always be my term. I'm happy for you. But if you did some stuff that was off the chain, I'm like, what? Because it hits me like that. Like, I'm gonna be who I am. So yeah, I celebrate every black man to black man. Hey, you doing your thing. One of my quotes is, hey, black man to black man, I'll never tear you down, but you may not be ready. You may not be material for the frat. but for the most part, yeah. I'll just be honest, but I'll defer to my dog.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Your joys are my joys. Mm-hmm. Sorrows be my sorrows, right? So yes, we need to be there for each other in the dark times, and to Andy's point, celebrate each other massively in the happy times. And you may not really know how your reaction to someone telling you something that they're happy about, no matter how minuscule it is, you never know how your reaction could affect them. Because it's burned into my memory. I don't know why it affected me this way, but it was something very small. But to me, it was significant in its
in the deeper meaning about it.
Yeah.
What it could mean in the future.
Yeah.
What this small thing meant. I had two friends. I told one friend, oh, that's what's up, right? Yeah. Hey, do your thing. I told one friend,
Ah.
So now what is that? So now what does that do?
You don't want to share.
No matter what it is, no matter how big it is.
Yeah.
Now I don't. You'll find out when you find out.
Exactly.
And that cascades into the type of friendship you now have with this person, because if I can't tell you comfortably my happy things, why would I share with you when I'm down? You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's turned that positive moment into somewhat of a negative.
Yeah.
Because nothing worse when you tell somebody or you're excited about something. Because once again, we're not beating down the ladies, but it's a different in some of our dynamics when it's something that's very dear to us, something we like, especially if it's something like we nerd out about, right? There's some small things that we like and we're excited about it. And girls like, why are you doing that? That's stupid. It's like, why is it important? It's like,
yeah.
And it's really like, because it seems like deep, like childlike, but it's your joy. You're excited about it. And if you don't identify with it, it's not something important to you, but it's like,
it's important to me.
That's good to see, you know. So anybody who's pushing you to that point, you know, as far as, you know, like I said, celebrating the things you love or your successes. But I have something like, I want to be deeper, dark about it, but a win is so hard to come by.
Oh my God, yes.
Regardless of either one. So it's like, even though we all have wins every day, like the big wins, you know, with everything that all the losses that we take, a significant win is very hard to come by. So it's like, hey, we're stacking those wins. Cause like, I work in sales, I played sports. So it's like, we're very momentum based. So one small win here can change your whole mindset, especially with the support of the right friend, building that dopamine up and that, you know, that desire to push forward. So you start stacking those wins and then things just start lining up for you. But that one friend just kind of poo-pooing on it at the wrong moment can be that whole, you know, derailment, and it can change your whole trajectory.
Which is why I protect my friendships, right? For the very same thing that you said. You know what I mean? It's one thing to not agree or support it. Like, you ain't got to be as animated as I am, but you don't have to put it down. You know what I mean? You can just simply be quiet. You can simply say, that's nice, right? But to put it down, that's when I'd be like, nah, dog, don't do my dog like that. Be straight up. You didn't see where he came from, and you seen what he doing. You didn't put some respect on my man's name. You understand? So, my bad, I ain't either.
But no, that's very real, because we get like that about the people that we care about.
Oh yeah,
that's one thing about it. It's like we rock with you, and I hate to get like that, because like, and I ain't not using violence, but it's like, I ain't gonna let my daughter go through nothing by herself.
Oh yeah. You know, and what's cool about that? It used to translate when we throw hands, right? When it was violent, and it was like, oh, you know, they about to get into it because he ain't gonna let his boy go down.
Like, no, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But when it switched in a positive manner, it looks totally different. That's when they start be like, man, all them, like, this a click of tens. Yeah, little mama. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Boy, how many trips we done been on, bro, and it's been like that. Understand? Like, how many trips when we just out being who we are in our habitat, everybody want to come up. And what's crazy is when we meet other vibes, when we doing that and we allow them to permeate, they were like, y'all some cool guys. This is what we do by nature, Playboy.
Yeah, like it just attracted that.
Yeah, it's exactly. This is how we get down.
But yeah, we've talked a lot about friendships, but we definitely wanted to talk about how the friendship impacts the service. So with today's theme being impactful service through intentional friendship, how do true friendships inspire us to serve?
I think for me, it's a good question. And a lot of people who don't understand it will actually say that I am not, or they will look at it from a standpoint of not being friends with people they can't serve with. But if you look at how it's actually structured, your friends will be the one that will do the service. And it's not service, right? It's not work. It's an opportunity for us to be around each other and clown, kick it, and get it done.
I was just going to say, y'all going? I'm going. I don't know what we doing, but I'm going.
Exactly. Well, my bad.
All the time, literally.
Yeah.
We're doing cleanups. We doing, bruh, like some of the most fun we have is in Thanksgiving and Christmas baskets.
Yeah.
all these random moments. We take all these. I got so many like just crazy pictures, catching people just laughing and playing.
But you know what's beautiful about it though? After we do the service, like where y'all gonna eat at? Where y'all going?
We don't want to leave.
We still kicking it, right? So just think about it. And this is one of the biggest reasons why being around friends and having time is so important, right? When you've been around that person all the time, right? And then when you hadn't seen them in a while and you miss them, oh boy, next thing you know, we done cleaned up stuff. You got people, when we cleaned up Big Knob, right? Mm-hmm. I went to the crib, got a chainsaw. People were coming out there helping pick up a big old tree, bro.
You get a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
You have an apartment.
You know what I mean? They're like, what's all this? Nah, first of all, my dog needed it done. They needed it done. My dog's out there as long as we out there getting it, having fun. Like, look, bro, I was telling bro, look, don't go nowhere. I'm gonna be right back. I wasn't caring about the work that we need to do because that's what we do. I'm finna show y'all something cool, bro. I got a chainsaw. I'm finna rip off something, boy. You know what I'm saying?
And he drove off. He came out with that chainsaw.
Nah, ripping it up. You know what I mean?
Because like our friendship, like it reverts us back to our childlike nature.
Dog, that's that masculine piece that we need. Like straight up and down. If you ask me, like I got an old school, and one of my biggest things is me moving the old school with my girl next to me, right? You know what I mean? But where I'm going is one of my homeboys' house. We put up his crib one time. Wow, I was just happy because I got it running.
Yeah.
I had my old girl, and she didn't want to get in the car. It smelled like gas. I got the top down. It's primed out. I pull up, he laughing. He died laughing. You know what I mean? It goes back to say, we've been through the trenches, right? So my little excitement, I'm going to share with my dog. And what's crazy is I got everything that I love around me. I got my dog. I got my lady. I'm going to see my homeboy. Understand? Yeah. That's service. 100%. Friendship is service. Period.
Ooh.
Point blank.
Lonnie, anything you want to add? No, you're not right. But
friendship is service.
Friendship is service.
But it's crazy. We kind of segued into that because the next question, why do you think young men need to see examples of friends serving together? And I won't just say just serving together, but adult male friendships in general.
For me, I'm going to tell you why it's important for me. Again, I knew my dad, talked to him. I didn't grow up with him. I don't know what it looks like. I do not know what it looks like. Right. So I gotta have a male that I trust in order to feel that energy, to catalog it, to say that this is a manly trait, right? It puts me in the mind that when I don't know, I can honestly say that I don't know, right? So that's just one aspect of mine.
Yeah, why do you think it's important that young men see examples of friends serving together? And also just adult male friendships.
Yeah, I mean, to set that example, to set realistic expectations of what you can expect when you get older and how to interact with a man, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to not be afraid of that interaction. Don't be too hard. Don't be too prideful.
Yeah.
In that, my old man Pop.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool as a fan, boy.
School tough
boy.
Males,
yeah.
Don't hug, don't do nothing. And that's how I grew up. So when I come around and I get older and I'm out on my own and folks come, oh, bro, tense up a little bit. What you hugging me?
Yeah.
But that being able to have that type of relationship and being able for the young folks to see it, that will help them have a healthy image or a healthy
understanding.
Yes, of true friendship with men. Right?
Yeah.
And I think it is, of course, us being able to love and show affection to each other.
Oh man. How many times I tell you like
yeah. So many guys so many men comfortable saying that, even like father and son, they got you'll see a man be uncomfortable to his son, I love you.
Yeah.
And it's like you would die for him, you would kill somebody for him, but you can't tell him you love him. And then especially these teens now, like I get it, but there's nothing that really I wouldn't say makes me angry, but irritates me more than like especially like preteens and teenagers, like teenage black boys not smiling. They take a picture, take, oh, we can't do this, we can't do like we can't show happiness. And where black boys specifically are forced to grow up so much faster than everybody else. And it plays into a lot of the issues they have and taking the manhood.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very important for them to see grown, strong, masculine black men laughing, playing, showing affection to each other, all showing the full range of emotions.
Yeah.
To show what healthy masculinity really is.
Yeah. You gonna say something? I be forgetting too, dog. That's why I have to. Yeah. I'll tell you, for me, the other part I'm gonna add to it is it's important because young black men won't know that they need it until it's too late. And if they have seen it before, they can at least catalog how to begin that transition to come out that pain, right? I teach, and one thing that I always see is always going to be somebody over there by themselves. And I would just go up to them. I was like, I don't even ask them their name half the time. I was like, what you into? What you mean? What you mean? Oh, yeah, I was just like something like, what you into? What you like? So they'll tell me what they like. And I'm like, oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm more engaged. And what I find is, like you said, it's not until you put in enough time that they'll actually turn to a smile, right? And then once it turns to a smile, they'll come in when they're having a good day. What's up, Mr. B? What's happening? What's going on with you, dog? Because I allowed them to see what a healthy heterosexual relationship is like and have a man that you respect. And they know how to catalog that. Mm-hmm. And they don't have to feel vulnerable with being themselves. So,
yeah, because I talked like one of my proudest moments with my nephew. I don't think I even think I told him this, but him and his friends had little acronyms like before or after their names. I was like, what does that mean? Let me make sure you're on the right path. You ain't doing nothing stupid.
Yeah.
It meant like never leave your brother. I was like, what that means? Like, man, during COVID, we were all apart and couldn't see each other. So we came up with that, it's like, we're never going to leave each other. We're going to check in. Stay engaged. And he just now like turning 16. This was like some years ago. So I was like, man,
there you go.
Really proud of y'all, y'all being there for each other and recognizing that and making that pact.
But did you not know he had been watching you, your brothers and your dad? And see, that's the thing. Like, they don't use it until it's needed. And that's the difference, right? Like having a man in your life. I mean, like your pops is a prime example. You gonna get it, man. Even the time you told me the story about slamming the door.
That's the best part. The reality.
Yeah.
I tried over that door. Who's boy?
Do you see what I'm saying? That check right there lets you know pretty much where he stands as a man, and he has a standard. So you know that now. So when other dudes see you get down, they see what your standards are, and they might not even like really know you, but have seen you and like how you move. I want to be like that dude, low key. Understand?
And like there's stuff that you got from your pops that you poured into me. Now I may pour into somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And vice versa. Lady daddy. I don't want to make y'all think I ain't got no daddy. Yeah. But yeah. But closing reflections, we talked about a lot of great things, but we've done a lot of great things out there. People might have, missed some stuff, picked up on it. If you could give one piece of advice to men about being a better friend, what would it be?
For me, you can only be better by doing better. You cannot fix anything until you put that work in yourself. So I always say when I mess up, I say, hey, check me out. See if I did something wrong. Right. Because I just want to be a better person. Forget all those other things. You're trying to chase happiness, all that. Look, if you just strive to be a better person, strive for peace, I promise you everything else will come.
Lon?
One more time.
If you give one piece of advice to men about being a better friend, what would it be?
Don't be too proud. Don't be too proud. Pride will tear down the best of anything that you got going on. Relationships, friendship, job, whatever it is, right? we're talking specifically about friendship. Don't be too proud to be vulnerable with someone, to apologize. Sometimes whether you're right or whether you're wrong. Because if you cherish that friendship enough, you know what? My bad, dog, for even letting something like this might even come in between us like that. We good.
Yeah.
Love you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be too proud. Don't let pride tear down, your friendship. So.
Yeah, especially when we need help or want to know something. But even then, like right now, I'm finna ask you something. Dog, what you got in your beard? That thing glistening.
That's Scotch Porter, bro.
Okay, see,
it's juices and berries.
See, I'm trying to come. Get you got any tips? Any tips you got? But my pride, sometimes somebody's pride wouldn't even allow them to ask that. You playing the song like, oh, what's that? They over there trying to sneak and Shazam it versus just asking.
Yeah.
Me, a dog put me on this, so.
Larry Jones, boy, I appreciate you, boy. That dude be rocking, boy.
His production does a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
But he's smooth. He talking about his day. But anyway.
Yeah.
And it's not just for men, but actually, and I kind of had this conversation with a friend just the other week because she expressed how she wants to be a better friend. But for you guys, what can we all start? How can we all start being more intentional in our friendships starting today?
Pick up the phone.
That's exactly what I told
you. Pick up.
Call me.
That's all I have to say about it. Pick up the phone. Pull up on somebody. Make contact.
That's it.
That's it. Make contact.
Simple. It's not hard. You don't even have to think about it. If it's in your heart, just do it.
If that's what you want to do.
And that's how you know that's one of the things when you was talking about, like, how can you tell if a friend is intentional? Check his heart.
Mm-hmm.
Check his heart muscle, see what's happening.
Yeah, because somebody's like, I won't think about people, or they came in my head. I'm thinking about reaching out to them. It's like, I'm a huge proponent of, if somebody crosses your mind, reach out to them, because they did not cross your mind for no reason. And people, you were talking about, the universe is spirit. I say the spirit put on my heart. And people play about it, but it's like there's been too many times I've reached out to somebody and they going through it, or somebody's reached out to me and I'm going through it. And like in one moment, it was like, yeah, you just popped in my mind. I want to think about you. And if we don't even get into the depths of what I got going on, just that moment of them reaching out in that dark moment, man.
Boy, I'm going to get deep with you. To me, it's personal betrayal if you think about a person more than 3 times and you do not reach out to them. It is a personal and moral betrayal. That person gave you some feeling that reoccurrence of them wondering how they're doing, or just to check on them, and you choose purposely not to pick up the phone. That's a moral betrayal. 100.
Right.
Yeah. Well, got a quick lightning round. Just to wrap up the friendship and service aspect, I'm going to ask one question. What's the service project you'd like to do most with a friend?
What is or what has been?
What is? What would be?
That's a good question.
It can be either one. One you've done and one you'd like to do with a friend.
One I've done? Probably when we were at the Pearl Center and you was up there on that ladder, and that nail gun taking pictures.
They're gonna like them. Yeah.
You do something.
That was fun.
I'm with you. I'm cerebral all day in my industry. So I use my brain. For me to relax is to use my hands. Any service that I got with like my homeboys, like doing work. I'll tell you another one that I really enjoy. And that's just because I like, being around the ladies at times, in a respectful way. I do like when we do service and we get to reach out, and include others. Like when we do the minority health fair, and I know DEI has said that you can't use those type of words, but in the past, when we would go out and we would do service, and then you get an interested party that comes up and they're asking, hey, what are the Qs doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then the other females come around, and then you see more bros come, right? what's so healthy and beautiful about it is that is a beautiful exchange of men and women being around each other, getting to know each other, right? And then they end up saying, "Oh, y'all cool," right? And what most don't understand is we were friends, so it's what we do all the time, right? That's why service is such a beautiful thing. For us, we are so cool with each other that when y'all come around, y'all doing work, y'all think this is fun to do. We trying to get it over so we can go back and kick it. You know what I mean?
But you just hit on something huge that I think a lot of people don't realize. Like you said, y'all so cool, y'all fun to be around. And, just throughout, Greekdom.
Yeah.
And even with people outside of, Greek organizations, just the public, people gravitate. They love to be around us.
We love to be around us.
That's exactly.
We love to be around us. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Because they feel that it's contagious.
You know what? I could rock with that.
Because we love being around each other, and that energy, they picking up on it too.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm going to ask the question, the service project, I love doing, once again, is the Thanksgiving and Christmas baskets. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, every Thanksgiving and Christmas, we select a number of needy families and donate the necessities that they would need to complete a Thanksgiving meal and a meal at Christmas. And so it's really just us, going through a grocery store, filling up, shopping carts full of the lists that we have. And, we're just interacting with each other, finding funny, random stuff to talk about through the store.
Yeah. And
all these different things, catching each other, taking pictures. Then at the end of it, we go outside and we give these baskets to these families, or sometimes we used to deliver them to the families. And, just to see the impact we've had on a family, and especially when we get to the houses or they come pick it up and it's like multiple generations of people.
Yeah.
And the impact that we've had on
so thankful.
Just spending time with our friends.
There's a lot of good people that need. And I'm going to tell you, when we pull up and we do service and baby, let me give you some water. No, we bringing you water. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I didn't mean to make that long, but
no, man, this is what it's about. And it makes sense as we feel this way about it.
Absolutely.
But we know this was a little bit longer than what y'all used to, but we thank y'all for hanging around with us. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Purple and Gold Table Talk. Please like, subscribe, and share with somebody who you think would love this conversation or might need this conversation. So once again, thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.